Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you my TBR list for the Magical Readathon. So if you are not familiar with what the Magical Readathon is, it's basically a readathon and now actually a readathon series that was originally created by G at Book Roast on YouTube. I will leave a link to her channel down below as well as the announcement for this readathon. She sums it up the best and explains it the best because it's her challenge and she's the one who created it. And I think it's better to hear all of the details from the original source. However, I will tell you that it is a Harry Potter themed readathon and it takes place, this first one is the O.W.L.s readathon, or the O.W.L.s, and it stands for Ordinary Wizarding Levels. It's the tests that fifth year students at Hogwarts have to take in order to kind of move on to the next year of classes. And so based off of that theme, there are 12 challenges. Each challenge corresponds to one of the subjects that a student would be tested in at Hogwarts. And this readathon does take place for the entire month of April, so April 1st through the 30th. All right, so let's go ahead and get started into what books I'm going to be reading. So now I'm going to share with you the reading challenges, the Hogwarts subject it corresponds to, and then the book that I'm going to read to fulfill that challenge. I'm not going to go through every single challenge because I don't have books for every single challenge, but I do have books for like 7 or 8 of them. So we'll see how many I get through by the end of the month, hopefully more than 4, but you know, fingers crossed that I can get a lot of reading done this month. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. So the first one is to read a book that is a retelling, and this satisfies the Ancient Runes challenge. For that, I'm going to be trying to read Scarlet. This is by Marissa Meyer. It's the second book in the Lunar Chronicles series, and this was originally on my TBR list back in February for February and March, and clearly I didn't get to it yet. I think part of the reason why I haven't read it is because I've deprioritized it because I've already read this once. So I would rather read books that I haven't read yet before I get around to reading this one. However, I do want to read it, so hopefully I can get to it this month. The next book I want to read, I have on Audible, and I will try to get a physical copy of the book out from the library because ideally I would like to read the two together at the same time. But if not, then I'm happy settling with the Audible copy, and that is Obsidio. It's by Jay Kristoff and Amy Kaufman. It satisfies the Arithmancy challenge, which is to read a book written by more than one author. And so it's the Obsidio is the third book in the Illuminate Files trilogy. And what's great about the this series is that the visuals, or the book, is very visual. It looks like a dossier filled with lots of different documents. There's some drawings and different things in it. It's, like I said, very visual, and that's why I want to get the book. But the audiobook is also great because it has different voice actors for the main characters and some sound effects. So you really, when you pair them together, I feel get this very complete, almost movie-like experience, you know, as much of a movie as you can get with like printed words and images. But I just really like that. So anyway, even if I can't get the physical copy of the book from the library, I still have the Audible version, which I'm excited to listen to. All right, the next challenge that I am going to try and read for is to read a book that is an adult work. And so for this, I'm planning to read Ruth Ware's The Death of Mrs. Westaway. I've read one of Ruth Ware's other books, The Woman in Cabin 10, and I did leave a fairly detailed summary about my thoughts and kind of the summary of the book in my most recent What I've Been Reading. But this is a fiction, or kind of I think it's also a thriller suspense novel like Ruth Ware's other books. I'm willing to give her another chance because I did like her writing. I just had some issues with the actual storyline of A Woman in Cabin 10. Anyway, point being, this is one of the books that I want to read first because it's a fairly new release. I think this is her most recent work, and there is, I think, several people on the wait list for this book at the library. This satisfies the Charms challenge, which is the Read an Adult Works book. The next book, honestly, I'm not super excited to read, but I feel like I need to try and read for this category or this subject challenge because it will help me qualify for other things in future challenges, which is complicated unless you kind of know all the details about this readathon. Anyway, point being that this is for the Defense Against the Dark Arts challenge, which is to master the Reducto spell, and that means that we need to read a book where the title starts with R. Okay, so here's the book. It is Red Rising by Pierce Brown, and like I said, this is my own book, so again, since it's my own book, it's one I deprioritize and compared to like library books that I do want to read and then need to read and then return. But this is also a book that's been sitting on my shelves for a really long time, so maybe this readathon will be my motivation to read this and then get excited for the series, or decide I definitely do not like the series, and then I don't have to finish the rest of the books in the series, because isn't there like 4 or 5 of them? Anyway, that's for the Defense Against the Dark Arts challenge. The next challenge that I'm going to be reading for is for herbology, and this is to read a book that has a plant on the cover. So for that, I'm reading Tanya French's The Witch Elm. It has this tree on the cover, and I'm like, trees are plants, so I thought this would qualify for it. I don't really know a whole lot about this book. I actually don't remember what it's about at all, but I do remember reading the blurb and being interested in it enough that I decided to check it out from the library. This is another book that has a pretty long wait list on it, I think, so it's one of the first ones I'm going to be reading. In addition to The Witch Elm is Queenie by Candace Carty-Williams, and this is another book that I believe has several people on the wait list, so it'll be one of the first ones I read. This is to fulfill the Muggle Studies challenge, which is to read a contemporary novel. As far as I know, this is contemporary. It's about a woman, modern time frame. There's no noticeable historical time frame. It talks about her life and her the things that she's going through, and as far as I know, nothing supernatural or sci-fi or things that would fit into another genre. So this will be my contemporary novel. 2 more books. The next one is for potions. For potions, we're supposed to get the next ingredient in our spell or our potion, and for that we're supposed to read a sequel. I plan to read Hunting Prince Dracula for this one. It's the second book in the Stalking Jack the Ripper series, which is a YA series, kind of a mystery series that takes place, I think, in London in the 1800s. And I read the first one, I really enjoyed it. I'm excited to read the second one. I think we're no longer in London, but it is the same characters. So that one is one that I'm checking out from the library. I think it's the physical copy, but it might be the audiobook. I don't actually remember which one I put a hold on, but that one will be available for me in April. I'll put the image up here if I haven't already. And the last book that I plan to read is Queen of the Tearling by Erica Johansson. This is to satisfy the Transfiguration Challenge, which is to read a book with sprayed edges or a red cover. This one does not have sprayed edges, but it does meet the red cover requirement. Again, this is another one of my books. It was on my TBR list for February and March, and one that I didn't get to because I deprioritized it. So again, maybe I can get to a few more. Maybe I can get to a few more of my own books this month as part of the Readathon challenge. All right, so that is my TBR list for basically the month of April because of this Readathon challenge. There is another week-long challenge, I think in the 3rd week of April, that I might be participating in. And if so, I think I will try to choose books that are outside of these books here. I'm gonna try not to double dip or cross over and stuff, but that's a lot of books to read. So we'll see, maybe not. But definitely I am participating in the Magical Readathon, in the O.W.L.s. So let me know down below if you're gonna be participating in the Magical Readathon challenges, especially this first one in April. I'd be interested to know what books you plan to be reading. And if not, are you participating in any other Readathon challenges? Thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're interested in more book-related videos or in Hobonichi planning videos. I will talk to you down in the comments. Have a great rest of the day and great rest of the week. Bye.